Good afternoon. We're coming to you live from the New Delhi headquarters of the Hindustan Times. And today I'm Dhrubo, and today I have with me our Deputy Political Editor Shobhadru Chatterjee and our National Affairs writer Ghulam Jilani. And we're talking about Ravindra Gaikwad, the Shiv Sena MP who got himself banned from flights by 6 airlines, including Air India, for allegedly assaulting a veteran Air India employee on board a flight. Now, yesterday, the Shiv Sena MP spoke in the parliament. He said he apologized to the House for his actions, but he also defended himself. And he said he did not apologize to the airline, and he said that that a thorough probe of this incident should happen. Now, in light of this and the support that he's received from the Shiv Sena, many people are now saying that this flight ban should continue just to teach him a lesson. Other people are saying that it is time that the flight ban ends because the MP has been taught a lesson and he has apologized to Parliament. What do you think? We want to know what you think. We are going to have this discussion today. But if you like this video, you share it with your friends. You tell us what you think. You tell us whether the ban should continue, whether the ban should not continue. First to Shobhadru, what is your take on this?
Yeah, Dhruvo, thank you for giving me this chance. I completely understand that I am probably standing against the tide of the common sentiments. But at the same time, I would like to say that, the incident happened on March 23rd. And today, today we are standing at a time when Ravindra Gaikwad has apologized to the highest lawmaking body in India, that is the Parliament. And he has also written a letter of regret to the minister, the civil aviation minister, last night. And I think that we should move on, and Air India may consider, lifting this man on Ravindra Gaikwad and probably allow him to fly once again.
Okay. So basically, what Shobhadru is saying is that if he has apologized to what is the greatest seat of democracy in this country, and it has been a considerable amount of time, Air India actually today has again cancelled a ticket that Ravindra Gaikwad has booked. But Ghulam feels that the time should continue. What do you feel about it?
I completely agree with the fact that the ban should continue because for many reasons. The main reason that I would say is because it's an incident of gross abuse of power. He's an elected head. He is an MLA. He was twice an MLA. He's an MP. So if an MP behaves like he thrashes an employee, a crew member, so it obviously sets a bad precedent if we allow him to fly. And if we stop him, if we ban him, if the airline is boycotting him, it is going to set a good precedent. Because not only for him, it's for the entire, these people who are in power, who enjoy power. We have incidents, it's not only for him. In fact, he is a habitual offender. We had a case in Maharashtra Southern where an employee was, fed, a Muslim employee was fed with food
During their fast.
Ramzan, when it was Ramzan. So he is a habitual offender. He has 7 cases registered against him.
And you think it's a good deterrent for him?
It's a good deterrent. He should be taught a lesson. He should not be allowed. And we should appreciate Air India. We should appreciate Ministry for that matter, because they are standing by a common man, not by, they are not favoring. It's easy for them to stand by a legislator than a common man. So we should appreciate.
Yes, I want to tell my dear friend Ghulam that I completely agree that whatever Ravindra Gaikwad has done, assaulting a 60-year-old employee of Air India, is completely unacceptable. What he has done is a crime, and there is a case has been lodged against Ravindra Gaikwad in the Delhi police station, and the investigations are still on. But I would also like to remind my dear friend Ghulam that the law of the country doesn't quite differentiate between a common man and an MP. I also want to tell you again, at the cost of earning probably wrath on social media and at the Facebook Live people watching us, that in India, and it's unfortunate that we don't have a no-fly list of passengers. In other words, we don't have any list of passengers in India or list of people in India who will not be allowed to fly in airlines because of something which they have done, like the thing which Gaikwad has done. Now, as long as this list is not available and airlines are trying to, draft a list like this that, select number of people that they will not be allowed to fly in any airline in India. So as long as this list, this no-fly list is not available, so it's a very precarious situation, and the airlines actually they cannot ask a passenger in terms of pure legality that you cannot fly with my airline anymore. This is one aspect. Second aspect, yes, I again agree that Ravindra Gaikwad has done what he has done is completely wrong. My argument is very simple. There is a case against Ravindra Gaikwad going on in a Delhi. There is a case which has been lodged in a Delhi police station. Let the investigation go on. Let there be police probe. Let there be a case come up in the High Court or Patiala Court or High Court, wherever it is. Let the law take its own course and go on. But meanwhile, the airline might consider him, might allow him to fly once again, because these two things are not actually related to each other, and
Yeah. Just to sort of bring our viewers to speed, we are coming to you live from the Hindustan Times office in Delhi. We have with us Shobhadru Chatterjee and Ghulam Jilani, and we're talking about whether it is time to lift the flight ban on Shiv Sena MP Ravindra Gaikwad. Now, just to sort of, Shobhadru thinks the time has come. This person, Ravindra Gaikwad, has apologized in Parliament. There is a case and a probe that's already ongoing against Gaikwad. But Ghulam feels that there is a bigger point of a broader deterrent against a man who has been known to be a repeat offender. Now, we can see from the kind of comments that we're receiving from our viewers that a lot of people think that the ban should continue. We want to know what sort of punishments you think Ravindra Gaikwad should face for this action. Do you think a probe is enough? Do you think that FIR that has been lodged by Delhi police is enough? Or do you think that there should be sort of broader deterrence against these sort of VVIPs who sort of abuse their power? Ghulam, my question to you is, and of course, if you like this video, please share it with your friends. Tell us what you think about it.
And also keep posting comments here, and let us know what you think about the whole issue. Ask us questions, and we will try to answer them.
Yeah. Ghulam, I actually want to take a comment that Sanahal Stradivarus Moirangtham has said. And he talks about how Ravindra Gaikwad does not enjoy any immunity from the law. Now, if there is already a case against him, what standing do the airlines have in banning him? Do you not think that this is patently illegal?
See, this is a public sector unit. This is a state airline. It's not a private airline.
Yeah.
So it's basically it's a government airline, we should say, and they are taking a stand for their employee. So what if this guy was thrashed, who was the victim here? What if he was thrashed by a common man?
Okay.
What had happened? And what is that is stopping Gaikwad from apologizing to the airline? Once he has apologized to the parliament. Let's keep the legal aspects, aside for some time. Let's think. We know about the incidents where a common man has to reach to the airport 2 hours before the flight schedule. But an MP or an MLA, he comes half an hour before. And there are n number of occasions when the flights have been rescheduled because a particular MP or an MLA has not reached on time or in time. So that's how this issue is not just about the legal aspect. It's, as you rightly said, it's about the broader thing. It's about the immunity that they enjoy.
You think it's setting an example?
We should appreciate, I already said, we should appreciate civil aviation ministry. It would have been easy for them to support the MP, but they are supporting their a manager of the aircraft, and we are supporting a common man. We are supporting. We are standing against an MP who has abused power. So what is it? Obviously, setting a deterrent. It's setting a deterrent for others like him. It's not just about him. It's not a legal thing. It's more of a trend that's there in India.
Yes. Again, I agree when Ghulam says that this has set a deterrent. There should be a deterrent for such misbehavior in flights, and no way we can justify what Gaikwad has done inside the flight when it came to Delhi. and he had
And that's also
allegedly-
the question that Sanahal is asking. Should the assault in front of other passengers of elderly person go unpunished?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I completely agree that this act should not go unpunished. But my question here is, how should you punish someone? Can you take law in your hand? I'm afraid. It's can't be done. So the way to punish him is to pursue the case which has been filed, the FIR which has been filed by Air India in the police, station. Way to punish him to go to court and get a direction of the court against Ravindra Gaikwad that this man has tried to. There is a case of just to remind our readers that one of the cases is attempt to murder. It has been filed against Ravindra Gaikwad. So if we can prove, and there are so many Air India employees, and we have video footage to show that this guy was actually trying to hit the. This guy actually hit the man, and when he was sitting back in the airline and tried to create a ruckus. So we must pursue the case. We must see that this police case reaches its logical conclusion. But again, I would say that when we are banning a person from flying, and we have banned him for so many days, that's when I'm saying that the ban should not come in the way of his duty as a parliamentarian. And let me also remind Ghulam and other our viewers here that Lok Sabha Speaker Sumitra Mahajan, yesterday she has said that no incident should be dragged beyond the limit. And she has also said that if an MP is not allowed to fly, it may hamper his or her parliamentary duty. So my suggestion to Air India probably is that allow him to fly in your airlines, and also to pursue the case which is there filed against him in the Delhi police station.
Yeah. Just to sort of again bring our viewers to speed, we are today at Hindustan Times and we are talking about whether it is time to lift the flight ban on Shiv Sena MP Ravindra Gaikwad, who, as all of us remember, assaulted a senior Air India employee on board a flight. Shubhadru thinks that the time has come where Air India should bury the hatchet. Ravindra Gaikwad has already apologized before Parliament. Ghulam thinks that a broader point is being made of setting an example for people who abuse power. Now, Shubhadru, Kundan Krishna is asking, and this is something that the Shiv Sena said yesterday, that they will stop all flights from Bombay. So this is clearly not signs of a party that has learnt any lesson.
Absolutely correct. Absolutely. I think the Shiv Sena is still, they are basking in their arrogance. Although they have, ceded a lot of electoral ground to BJP in Maharashtra in the recent polls. Yeah. I completely agree that this sort of comments which they made yesterday, that they will, if the thing is not resolved, they may try to stop flights taking off from Mumbai, and they even said that we will not attend the NDA meeting, we'll boycott the NDA meeting. All these things are, I think, they are just threats. Shiv Sena completely understands that their image has taken a huge hit after this incident. And probably that is the reason why Ravindra Gaikwad has tendered an apology. The person who has initially defended his action and he boasted that, I have hit him, I have hit the Air India employee 25 times with my chappal.
And told news channels.
Yes, he told news channels. He boasted about that. And Shiv Sena, we know Shiv Sena generally, it had been, Shiv Sena, the political line of Shiv Sena, or the brand of Shiv Sena politics, has always been a very aggressive, the muscle power.
Yeah.
That's what they want to exhibit, and that is what they were showing. But again, I want to, that is one aspect, and that is obviously not, no one will support it, we can't support it, and everyone has to condemn that.
Just to sort of again tell our viewers that we are talking about Ravindra Gaikwad and whether the ban on him should be lifted. If you like this video, press the like button, share it with your friends. Tell us what you think. Do you think the ban should be lifted? Do you think there should be a lifetime ban? I am actually going to go to you and take the comment that Utkarsh has made. And Utkarsh is saying that until the court finds him guilty or not guilty, this ban should stay. because this is the same as government employees who are suspended.
Right.
Do you agree?
I agree with Utkarsh. I agree with him completely. I'll tell you one thing. It's not only about an MP thrashing a crew member. It's about the image of an airline which is ferrying tens and thousands of passengers every day. What if, if they allow this guy to fly when they have seen him publicly thrashing someone? What if their passengers, they don't get more passengers? What about the loyal passengers? They would say, boss, one of the guys is thrashing your employee. What is about our safety? So it will be safety concern for those passengers who travel in this airline. So this aspect should be taken care of. Why again I'll say, why is not he apologizing to the union? Union is saying that, union is, standing up against him. So that is very important here, because when a manager of an aircraft is not safe in an airline, what about the safety of common passengers? So let's keep this legal angle here. Let's see what the courts have to say. Let's not allow him to fly, because it will obviously again set a precedent. Like, boss, he's getting away easily.
I agree.
And we saw it on video. It's not something which is just an allegation. It's there. We have seen it, and he is himself boasting about it.
Yes, absolutely. I agree, Ghulam, that there is a strong public sentiment against the Ravindra Gaikwad, and people want him, that this ban should go on, and this should be seen as a precedent that taking an action. And this is probably the first time. Let me also tell our viewers that this is the first time in the history of India. I was talking to some airline officials. They were saying that an MP is facing a ban not just from one airline but from all six airlines.
Six
And
airlines.
that is something which has never happened in India. So obviously, because of the
And we can see that public sentiment here. So like
absolutely,
Himanshu wants a lifetime ban, Mithilesh wants a life ban, and people are just very, very angry about this sort of misuse of
I
power.
think Himanshu Singh has a very important point. He's saying that banning is not because he's MP or something, it is because he was a passenger who misbehaved. Yes, Himanshu, you're absolutely correct. But again, I might very humbly put a point that, and maybe a counterpoint that, in India we don't have actually a list of people who can be banned. So legally, the Air India is probably not in a position to continue this ban. And also, I would like to say that the speaker yesterday, when she has said that the prolonged this thing can be stopped, and also she has said that if an MP is that might hamper his or her the
Discharging of parliament.
discharging of parliamentary
Parliamentary
duties.
duties.
Now also we have to look at one aspect, that the MP, he's a Lok Sabha MP, he represents Osmanabad constituency, and probably he will also try to use this opportunity to say that, look, I have not been able to represent in the
My
parliament,
constituency.
in my constituency in parliament. Should we give him the chance, or should we focus more on pushing the police case against him, and maybe allow him to fly now after so many days have passed? And I think he has learned his lesson.
I don't think he has learned anything, but he's so full of himself that he's not apologizing to the crew member. Why wouldn't he apologize to the
Ghulam,
person who has been affected?
I actually want, because a lot of this conversation has also been about whether this sets a broader precedent for a lot of people. We constantly see this, right? At toll plazas, people get
that's not
thrashed,
my point.
people make flights wait.
In airports only, in airports
Yeah,
only.
people make MPs, MLAs make flights wait for them, etc. I want to ask both of you, and this is a question to both of you. Do you think that this, and as you're saying, this sort of very historic, unprecedented action, do you think it will have any long-term impact?
I think it will have. I think it will definitely have a long-term impact, because it will teach them a lesson that they can't get away easily. They are also, among us. We have elected them. It's not that they have come from some foreign land and they are ruling us. We have elected them. They are public servants. Let me use the term public servant. So they can't get away easily. They don't have any right to thrash a person. Even if I say I was not on board the flight, even if that person had committed some mistake, but it doesn't give this MP a right to thrash him publicly, and still he is not apologizing. What else should we defend? What else should we not defend?
What do you think, Shiv?
For a change, I'll agree with Ghulam that yes, this incident has set a precedence, and probably any arrogant MP, next time he thinks of doing something such silly in the flight, he will definitely think twice.
Not only in flight, everywhere in public places.
Absolutely, absolutely, and I agree. We have seen footages of the MP who is thrashing toll booth workers employees because he was asked to pay toll, and this happens every time. Actually, we in India we love to flaunt our power, and that is the biggest problem in the one of the
That is the
problems.
And that is also has been a mark of the Shiv Sena's kind of politics.
Yes,
This
yes,
sort of
yes,
brazen.
absolutely, absolutely, absolutely.
Just
And
again,
also, I would like to point out one more point. That is that I must appreciate and acknowledge the role the central government has played in this incident.
Agreed.
Although I think the Air India now must allow Gaikwad to fly, but I must acknowledge the role of the central government. Had the central government, had the aviation ministry buckled under pressure, if they had done so, the Air India would have been not in a position to stand up against such criminal behavior, and that too of an MP, a man who enjoys tremendous power and immunity. So they could have been probably not been able to stand up and ban him from flying ever since March 2013.
It's been absolutely.
So this actually shows that the political class is also there is no support for Shiv Sena MP in the political class, and even Shiv Sena's biggest ally, the BJP, has distanced himself from this incident and distanced itself from Shiv Sena, from this rogue behavior, and they are putting it, because otherwise there is no
other way to check them.
The Air India CMD is an IAS officer. Is an IAS officer, Air India CMD, and he reports to his political masters are the ministers in the central government.
That's
so,
what I said, PSU.
Yes, absolutely, and they could not have given. But again, I mean,
for a change, I agree with you.
thank you, Gulam. But again, I would say, I hope you'll also agree with me that it's enough time now. The Air India should allow the MP to.
Yeah, I just have actually one last question, and we are talking about whether the ban on Ravindra Gaikwad, flight ban imposed by 6 airlines, should be lifted now. And a lot of us have joined us in this discussion. If you like our discussion, if you have points to make, please make those points in the comment section. Like and share this video with your friends. But one last question, slightly speculative. What do you think will happen from this point on? What do you think will happen?
Later allow Ravindra Gaikwad because if they want to drag the incident too far, then there might be a repercussion in the parliament, because I want to point out two statements which were made yesterday. One, as we have discussed, by Lok Sabha Speaker Sumitra Mahajan. For those who have joined us late, let me tell you, Sumitra Mahajan yesterday had said that if a MP is not allowed to fly, then he may not be able to discharge his parliamentary duty. And also the Home Minister Rajnath Singh had asked the Civil Aviation Minister, and he said this on the floor of the House, floor of Lok Sabha, that please talk to all the stakeholders and find out an amicable solution as soon as possible. So I think that India might consider sooner or later.
I can foresee an apology from the MP in which he apologizes to the person who has been at the receiving end of his role.
So you think he'll apologize to the employee and the airline?
One last point I want to make, that I think it's time that the airlines, the domestic airlines and the government come together and make a no-fly list for rogue passengers who create nuisance in the flight, or assault or abuse the flight crew. There should be a list of passengers who should not be allowed to fly.
Yep, I agree. Thank you to all our viewers for joining us in this discussion. I think one common thing that we have reached is that there should be no tolerance for this sort of abusive behavior. This is Shobha Chatterjee, Gulam Jilani and Dhrubo. We're signing off from Hindustan Times, but keep watching us, keep joining our channels, and keep sharing and liking all our posts and views.
Yes.
Thank you.
Keep watching HindustanTimes.com and also HD Tweets for all latest updates.